Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all my dear students. This is your lecture number 31 of week 10 from chapter nervous coordination. This topic will be followed from page number 84 to 87. So the contents are review of previous lesson, objectives, sensory receptors and their working, effects of drugs on nervous coordination, recap and next topic. First of all, I will give you the review of the previous lesson in which we have covered the basic organization of our human nervous system, cranial and spinal nerves in man, and somatic and autonomic nervous system. So after completing this lesson, you will be able to explain the structure and functioning of the receptors for smell, taste, touch and pain, effects of drugs on nervous coordination, and define narcotic drugs as an agent that interact with the normal nervous activity. Sensory receptors and their working. What do you mean by sensory receptors? Basically, the structure that are specialized to respond to the change in the environment, and these changes are called stimuli. So sensory receptors are the dendrites of sensory neurons specialized for receiving the specific kind of stimuli. So the question is how sensory receptors are classified. It will be classified on the basis of location, on the basis of stimuli type, and on the basis of the structure, or you may call it the anatomy of the receptors. So here we will discuss the receptors for smell, taste, touch and pain, that is olfactory receptors, taste receptors and sensory receptors in human skin. Number 1, olfactory receptors. So students, olfactory receptors also called smell receptors. It consists of a protein capable of binding the odor molecules that play a central role in the sense of smell, or you may call it olfaction. So the cilia are covered by the mucus of the nasal cavity, facilitating the detection of and response to odor molecules by olfactory receptors. So here the question is, where are they located? So basically olfactory receptors are located high in the nasal cavity, as you can see in the diagram, on a relatively small patch of skin called olfactory epithelium. Or basically the olfactory receptor cells are neuron, and these cells are surrounded by a epithelial columnar cells having a cilia at the distal end, as you can see in the diagram. So the chemicals that stimulate the olfactory receptors enter the nasal cavity as a gas. They must dissolve at least partially in the watery fluid that surround the cilia before they can be detected. So the nerve impulse travel to olfactory bulb, which is situated on the inferior side of forebrain. Then the olfactory bulb transmit smell information from nose to brain and is thus necessary for the proper sense of smell. And as you can see in the diagram, the cilia is surrounded by some sort of tissue cells like supporting cells or basal cells, which is nucleated, uninucleated cells, and at the end of the basals and supporting cell the microvilli is also present, which are used to increase the surface area of the cell. So the activated olfactory receptors trigger the nerve impulses which transmit information about odor to the brain. Now the second one is taste receptor. Basically a taste receptor is a type of receptor which facilitates the sensation of taste. When food or other substances enter the mouth, molecules interact with saliva and are bound to taste receptors in the oral cavity and other locations. So these molecules give a sensation of taste. So as you can see in the diagram, there are 4 primary taste sensations, that is sweet, sour, salty and bitter, which are situated at the various regions on the tongue. So all the 4 regions overlap at certain places. So on the surface of tongue, taste buds are present. Basically they are associated with a tiny elevation, and this tiny elevation are called papilla, as you can see in the left side of the diagram. So students, each taste bud consists of a group of modified epithelial cells, and these modified cells are called taste cells, which function as a receptors. And as you can see in the right side of the diagram, the taste cell has an opening, and this opening is called taste pore. And the tiny projections called taste hairs is also present. Or you can say a taste pore is surrounded by a tiny projection that are called taste hairs. And as you can see in the diagram, in the taste bud, a network of sensory nerve fibers is present, which are going to transmit the sensation of taste to the brain. Now the sensory receptors in human skin. So students, the dermis of the skin contain receptors for touch, pressure, temperature and pain. And as you can see in the diagram, there are different type of sensory receptors present in the human skin. A, that is Meissner corpuscles. B, that is Markel corpuscles. C, that is free nerve ending. D, Pacinian corpuscles. And E, Ruffini corpuscles. So first we will discuss the Meissner corpuscles. Meissner corpuscles are also called a tactile corpuscles. Basically they are a type of mechanoreceptors. So they are a type of mechanoreceptor which is responsible for sensitivity to light touch. And as you can see in the diagram, it is a small oval shaped cells. So Meissner corpuscles are especially numerous in lips, fingertips, palm and sole. That means they are present numerously, they are present in the hairless areas. Then the second one is Markel disc, or it is also known as Markel cell. It is a main type of tactile and organ highly abundant in human fingertips. Now the third one is a free nerve ending. Basically it is an unencapsulated dendrites of sensory neuron. They are the most common nerve ending in the skin. So these free ending nerves are sensitive to painful stimuli, to hot, cold and to light touch. Or you can say it is a pain receptors, or technically it is called nociceptors. So basically the pain receptors are located at the top of the skin in the epidermis area to detect the pain. Now the Pacinian corpuscles, it is also a type of mechanoreceptor, or they are nerve ending in the skin responsible for sensitivity to vibration and pressure. And the Ruffini corpuscles, which are present in the superficial dermis of both hairy and glabrous skin, or you can say hairless skin, where they record low frequency vibration or pressure. Or you can say these receptors adapt slowly to pressure that result in stretching of the skin. Now the effects of drugs on nervous coordination. So students, as we know, the drug is a chemical substance that produce a biological effect. So here the drugs are the chemicals that affect the brain by tapping into its communication system and interfering with the way neurons normally send, receive and process the information. So some drugs can activate neurons like marijuana and heroin because their chemical structure mimics that of a natural neurotransmitters. So drugs interact with the brain and body to alter the mood, emotions and a behavior by changing brain chemistry. So the regions of the brain affected by drug abuses are the brainstem, limbic system and cerebral cortex. And here I am going to add two terminologies. The one is drug addiction and the other one is drug tolerance. What do you mean by drug addiction? As the terminology indicate, drug addiction is a state of heavy dependence on a drug. Or when you are addicted, you may continue using the drug despite the harm it causes. Example of addicted drugs are heroin, nicotine, and alcohol. And drug tolerance, basically it is a condition when the drug is used repeatedly by the person and the body adapt to the continuous presence of the drugs, or you can say increasing its dosage may re-amplify the drug's effect. For example, when nicotine or caffeine is used for a long time, longer and larger the doses must be taken to produce the same effect. So basically, drugs block the production of endorphin. What do you mean by endorphins? Endorphins are the chemicals produced naturally by the nervous system to cope with pain or stress. Or the other name of endorphin is the brain's natural pain killing chemicals. So the constant use of narcotics block the production of endorphin. So here the question is, what do you mean by narcotics? Basically, narcotics is a group of substances which bind to certain pain killing site in the brain. With constant use, they build up in the brain and block the production of endorphin. So narcotics dull the senses and relieved the pain. So students, here we will discuss some common narcotic drugs like heroin, cannabis, nicotine, alcohol and inhalants. Number 1, heroin. Basically it is a white powder with a bitter taste, abused for its euphoric effect. So what do you mean by euphoric effect? Basically it is an experience of pleasure or excitement and intense feeling of well-being and happiness. So basically heroin is derived from a morphine alkaloid which is found in opium poppy plant, and the botanical name of poppy plant is Papaver somniferum. So Papaver somniferum is roughly 2 to 3 times more potent than morphine. As we know, morphine is a pain medication. So there are many side effects of heroin like nausea, vomiting, respiratory and circulatory disorder, which causes the respiratory and circulatory depression and then alternately leading to death. Number 2, cannabis. The word cannabis refers to all products derived from the plant Cannabis sativa. It is a botanical name of a plant. It's include marijuana and hashish. So marijuana and hashish derived from cannabis. So cannabis has various mental and physical effects which include euphoria, the altered state of mind and difficulty in concentration. At high doses, the mental effect can include anxiety and hallucinations. Basically, hallucinations are sensations that appear to be real but are created within the mind. Example include seeing things that are not there, hearing voices or other sound, experiencing body sensation like crawling feeling on the skin or smelling odor that are not here. Now the next one is a nicotine. Nicotine is a plant alkaloid found in a tobacco plant. Basically it stimulates the postsynaptic receptors of peripheral nervous system and leads to increase the skeletal muscular activity. It is also increase the heartbeat and blood pressure. So when smoking a cigarette, nicotine is quickly distributed to all body organs. Now the inhalants. Inhalants are basically a volatile substances that produce chemical vapors that can be inhaled to induce a psychoactive or mind altering effects. So inhalants are commonly referred as a glue sniffing. So the main cause of inhalants are euphoria, which is followed by central nervous depression. So deep breathing of the toxic vapors may result in the loss of appetite and at higher doses, hallucinations. And the last one is alcohol. Alcohol is basically a most commonly used and abused drugs. It is primarily metabolized in liver where it disrupts the normal working of glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Then the pH of the blood decreases and become acidic. So withdrawal symptoms of the alcohol include feeling of nervousness, shakiness, anxiety, irritability, rapid emotional changes, state of confusion and hallucinations. So what do you mean by withdrawal symptoms? Withdrawal symptoms refer to a group of symptoms that may occur from sudden stopping the use of alcohol. So students, today we have covered the sensory receptors and their working, in which we have discussed the olfactory receptors, taste receptors and sensory receptors in human skin, and then we have discussed the effects of drugs on nervous coordination, and we have discussed some narcotic drugs like heroin, cannabis, nicotine, alcohol and inhalants. So in our next lecture we will cover the disorders of nervous system and diagnostic test. This is all for today. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.